Dr. Jodi Barnett, and she is an ND,
Naturopathic doctor.
naturopathic doctor. She's been doing this for how long?
Oh, good God.
Too long to tell. We'll just say that.
It's a lifestyle, not just a profession.
Right. And we're going to get into a lot of what she does, but I wanted to introduce her as saying, you'd be happy to hear, she does not use the food pyramid.
No, I do not.
She's not going to give you a picture of the food pyramid and say, you have to do this. She's also not a strong vegan advocate. So she's not going to turn around and say, you can't eat meat. And she likes the baby steps approach. Very, very subtle, very uninvasive. And she likes also the integrative approach to find your root causes of your health issues. She looks at your diet, your sleep habits, your stress levels, your exercise, and relationships.
It's important. That is a very
I was surprised to
important
see that in there, but I guess it's important.
Stress you out, man.
Being married for 38 years.
Marriage, kids.
Yes, kids.
It all meshes together.
So where are you from?
I'm in Valparaiso. I've got two offices, one in Valparaiso, one in LaPorte. And, you know, I try and treat the whole person. Usually a patient will come in and we go over their history a little bit. It's not just about chasing symptomology. Your symptoms are kind of like your 911 light center flashing, same service the engine. So we kind of take symptoms, but not just suppressing the symptoms, trying to figure out why the symptoms are there. So it's about seeing what kind of soil they're planted in with their diet, their lifestyle, stress, all of those kind of things play a big factor.
And another thing she will not do is she will not force you to eliminate your favorite foods, which is a good thing. And she will suggest necessary changes.
Yeah, I give them the tools. I can't make them pick them up and use them, but that's basically what I do. I consider myself more of a teacher than a doctor in that capacity because I'm teaching them how to do things differently. The definition of insanity is keep doing what you've always done and think you're going to feel different. It's not going to work.
Or get a different
So
result.
you have to make changes, and you know, gradual doesn't have to be overnight because you're not going to stick with it. You know, and you got to break some habits and you got to replace what you're taking out with something different.
So my first question is, what is a naturopathic doctor?
What is a naturopathic doctor?
Yes.
Well, basically, we aren't that much different than an MD. In other words, we take an adequate medical history on the patient, see what they've got going on health-wise. I do pretty invasive research on what they're eating, how they're putting their food together, what they're taking. Are they on medication? Are they already taking supplements? Some people are taking too many supplements. Okay, too much of a good thing isn't going to work for you either. There needs to be a balance. And I do offer some testing. I'll do some hair mineral testing. Sometimes I'll send people for lab work. I do a quantitative fluid analysis where I run their first morning urine and saliva. And then I get a baseline and that allows me to customize what program I'm going to work with each patient. There isn't a one size fits all. So if somebody comes in and they've got cholesterol issues, I'm going to say, okay, well, you're doing this, and this, because they're different. Everybody is different.
So there could be something else in addition to the cholesterol that's
Exactly.
causing the cholesterol in the first place.
So I kind of let their body guide me, and we just kind of customize.
But it's important that the patient is honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'm a straight shooter. I usually just lay it right out there. I don't kind of, sugarcoat a lot. When I see what's on the table in front of me and I'm looking at their history, and even when I get some of their labs back, I usually just shoot it to them straight and say, well, this is what you need to really be willing to change. And most of them are willing. Sometimes detoxes come into play, and, we have to move things around a little bit, as the body is rebalancing itself,
And one of the things we talked about was a lot of people are having post-COVID issues.
It's big. It's
symptoms,
big.
yes.
Between the fatigue that doesn't want to go away, some people are struggling to get their sense of smell and taste back. The big thing is everybody's losing their hair. I just, the amount of patients that are coming in, and that's why they're coming in, their hair is falling out like crazy.
Oh, wow.
So I was wondering, you meet these folks just for the maybe normal ailments, and then you start to talk about their lifestyle.
Mhm.
And so, tell me where your office, actually your addresses are.
The one in Valparaiso is 851 Eastport Center Drive. I'm on the second floor. I'm inside Northwest Any Eye and Laser Center, Dr. Buck's office.
And that's over there east of 49 bypass, right?
It's off of Route 2. It's right by Ivy Tech.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
right in that little industrial
Yes.
complex over there.
And then the other one's in LaPorte, 6646 West Johnson Road in LaPorte. I'm right next door to Clark Family Chiropractic.
Okay.
And also, something new that I know you want to talk a lot about is skincare and your new skincare products.
Yes. I am offering other services, corrective skincare. So I'm doing skin lasering. We get sun damage and start of skin cancers and things like that. So we've got different lasers that we can use to make the skin healthy again. Fractional lasers, tighten and tone the skin, help with scar reductions. Cellulite, all of those things that we hate. So I can work on the outside and the inside. And I have a really nice skincare line that I'm carrying that's doesn't have any endocrine disruptors in there, which was real important to me. But it's real effective, and my patients are loving it. They're loving it. So yeah, we've got some skincare. The skincare services are only offered at the Valparaiso office. So we can work on the inside and the outside. It all plays together.
Oh yeah. That's one thing I did learn from looking at your website and reading more about you. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, I was supposed to do this on the introduction, but it's never too late. Jodi wrote us an article on Panorama. Like I said, we have a lot of articles. She wrote us an article 3 years ago. I mean, it was 3 years ago.
How did you two meet?
Oh gosh, we met a long time ago.
Oh, I can't even remember.
When I opened up
So
in
you've known each other
2009,
for a
I met you
while.
at the chamber luncheon, one of the
Yeah.
chamber luncheons when I first opened in 2009.
So, saying Panorama, I want to remind everybody that this not only is Facebook Live, but Sue has a magazine that goes through the 3 counties, Panorama, and that's how you started, 35 years ago?
38 years ago.
So, growing every day, never thought that this would be happening, but now we're
Right.
Facebook and there was another
Radio show.
The radio, the podcast, the emails. So I'm like, yeah, we're busy people.
Yeah,
So
newsletter.
get your message out through this. It's very good.
So what I do each week, well, actually daily, I check which I told you which article is trending, and I have a top 10 that shows up right on the front page. I can go down to 30 or 50, but the top 10 is one I focus on mostly. And Jodi's article about how to remove toxins from your body naturally became real popular during the COVID period, and it would show up on my top 10 like every other week, and it showed up this week.
So I was mentioning about Sue.
I didn't know how people were finding it, but they're finding it.
Any guest, and she helped me quite a bit with all of my my adventures through the years, is you can go on now and just do a Google search, and hers comes up because why? Publisher. That
Yes.
is a big piece of it. So that's why, there people are finding it, because it's coming up high on the searches.
Well, I just searched our other 2 speakers, our first 2 speakers, and they are still in the top, 5 or 6. They're right underneath their own Facebook page and their own website page.
So did you start with her Panorama?
Well,
information?
I've contributed
Yes.
articles over the
Okay.
years. I mean, we've just
She
connected
promote you?
back and forth, and yeah.
And then when the radio show come up, I go, oh,
She'd be
Jodi would be
perfect.
perfect. All of her knowledge and all of her experience. Do we have any questions? Anybody out there that
I don't see anything yet.
It's
My concern is
concerned-
calling tonight.
concerned about, just name a topic, cholesterol, high blood pressure?
Well, those are both big heavy hitters. A lot of people are struggling with both of those. Usually they kind of work in tandem. If they've got high blood pressure, cholesterol isn't far behind. Blood pressure is controlled a lot by kidneys, and we know that the liver plays a big part in cholesterol levels and stuff like that. So diet and lifestyle. A lot of people simply don't hydrate enough. They don't drink enough water. Have their body weight in ounces is a good place to start.
That's very important.
Yeah, and actually some people, they're on medication that dehydrates them too.
Right.
So they need to make sure that they're keeping up on staying hydrated. And electrolyte balances, and the minerals get imbalanced. That affects blood pressure a lot. People don't correlate the connection between minerals and what it does in the body as far as health, and everything springboards off of that, from enzyme activity in the body to how your hormones are going to dock at receptor sites and so forth, and that allows vitamins. Everybody looks at vitamins, they're actually the caboose, not the engine.
So what is the engine?
Well, we want to look at enzymes that are spark of life. So if the enzymes, both digestive and systemic enzymes in the body, can't do their roles and play their part, we feel it. And lack of energy, how the cells react to nutrients in the body, and how it takes the trash out, the lymphatic system, everything.
But doesn't enzymes basically start with food?
Well, there's natural occurring enzymes in your food, in your fruits and your vegetables,
right.
not in your meats.
Right.
But the way we process most of those foods, we've rendered those enzymes useless once we cook them over 150 degrees. So if they're not eating all of that raw, you're not getting it. And then you've got your foods that have a shelf life that have preservatives. Those are enzyme inhibitors. Okay, they are inhibiting.
Preservatives.
Yes, because they're stopping the enzyme from doing what it's doing so that it has a longer shelf life. So if you're consuming more of that food, it's going to affect your own enzymes that your body produces to help you break down your foods and do other body functions like detox itself.
And more foods have more preservatives, and the grocery store is just full of
The best advice I give my patients is when you go shopping, just shop the outer perimeter. Don't even go down the center aisles. There's nothing you need down those aisles, really. Nothing that's going to do a body good anyway.
Behavior is a huge part of it. So I do a lot of that we have this Express Yourself coming up, and we have classes. So it's lifestyle, it's also heredity, it's also medicine. So we are using all those together.
A lot of modalities, yes.
And I was just going to mention with blood pressure, so you can do a lot of behavior, but if you have it in your family, so I have a son that's a teenager with high blood pressure because it's already,
The genetics are there,
yes,
predisposition.
and we checked. We just kept checking, like with school physicals. So if you do have it, you do have to be on it because it is a silent killer, and you don't get a lot of symptoms. So taking medicine and lifestyle change.
Absolutely, and they correlate. I don't tell anybody not to take their medication. There's correlation with making proper changes. So you want to watch your sodium intake and make sure you're getting adequate exercise and movement, and watching your sugars and your starches and proper food combination. There's a lot that goes into it. So,
but at some point, if you're, he was a very trained. They brought this up in the newspaper. A very trained athlete, and he was doing everything, and still, so you have to take the medicine. That's why it's important. I was going to mention. So folks come to you, but there are sometimes, and we go through these classes. They're coming. They're doing everything they need to do. But do you use any type of medicine for weight loss? I know that's been something that's been out there, and some people have had success, or procedures.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
But you do medicine for other things. I mean, you can prescribe medications.
No, I don't prescribe medications. I will refer patients to other doctors that I work with, but I don't prescribe. I do not. So I just recommend herbs, nutrients.
Is that what the naturopath is? That comes into it? The naturopath?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, it works in tandem. I do my research when I have a patient that's on medications, so that I make sure if I'm giving them anything herbally, it's not going to interfere with how the medication's working. So there's no interaction issues going on.
Yeah, some herbs can interfere.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, there is. You have to be careful and do your research, so I do.
Well, that's wonderful. What else can we talk about? What other?
And stress kills.
Yes.
And people, it's hard to relax. And you'd think with all this technology and stuff, it's supposed to make our lives quote unquote easier. It doesn't, because we have no downtime anymore.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
There's no place to unplug.
Right.
There's an up and a down with everything. So finding that balance is critical. So
I have a personal question.
Okay. For who?
For me.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Don't disclose any of my stuff.
I'm looking for, I know nighttime snacks are a big deal. And I'm looking for a low-carb, healthy nighttime snack that you can have, because I just can't go from 5 o'clock to 9:30 or 10 without having
Something to munch on. So typically, what kind of snack do you normally crave?
Well,
Is it like
I've been very healthy. I either have an orange
That's great.
or apple or grapefruit or yogurt. But after a while, those get tiring. Those get old. You have the same thing over and over and over
you want to
again.
spice it up a little bit? Well, you reach for some protein. I mean, you can do some vegetables with some hummus and use that as a snack. You've got all different flavored hummuses now, so you can do roasted red pepper, garlic, all of that kind of stuff. But sometimes if you have a protein snack late in the evening, you actually sleep better because it keeps your blood sugar more balanced. Because you're going through a fast while you're sleeping typically. But
I have tried broccoli and ranch dip, but I'm kind of.
I love pickles.
I just
want
want.
FYI, they have 0 calories.
Oh, I just want a snack that I can just pull out. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to cut up vegetables.
Do you like pickles?
Get out a bowl. Not really.
What about
He does.
What about like the
He'll
sweet
eat 'em.
and sour ones, like the bread and butter?
To me, it's not a snack. It's something you put on your
Ooh.
hamburger.
Oh gosh, I eat those like all day long. Oh, we gotta give a shout out to Les. Les is here tonight. Give a wave, Les.
So Jodi, what is your highest symptom that most of your patients have?
blood pressure and cholesterol's probably topping it, and fatigue.
Fatigue. More so, there's a lot of fatigue now because of COVID.
Yeah, a lot of people coming, a lot of the patients that have had COVID, they're struggling to get their energy back. You know, they're giddy up, just got up and went, but I'm finding that when I test them, a lot of them, after having COVID, their minerals are really out of whack.
Oh, so you take their blood and you see?
I do hair mineral testing.
Oh, tell us about that.
Hair mineral testing, I take a hair sample about an inch from the scalp. I send it off to a lab in Texas. It takes about 10 days to get it back. It gives me a profile of essential minerals. If they have any heavy metals, it isolates those. So if they have aluminum, mercury, lead, and
So different things than if I went to a traditional MD, because I go there for like my usual yearlies. But it'd be
it's
good
life.
people to go and see you because there might be something else that they didn't think about.
it's just from a different angle. So blood work has its place too, okay? It tells us a
Right.
lot. A lot of times though, by the time your blood work steps outside that reference range of okay, it means something's broken. Okay, so it's not going to monitor the earlier stages of, hey, something's getting ready to functioning on tilt already. So that's where some of the testing that I offer, it's picking up nutritional imbalances and things that are off before it's broken. And by then they're already throwing some symptoms, they're feeling off, they're not themselves, they don't have energy, they're struggling to sleep.
So what types of things do you then tell them about?
Well, basically lifestyle changes. I change their dietary program and I customize it, so I'll give them different nutritional programs that I put together for them. May put them on different supplements if they need a digestive enzyme or if we have to balance their potassium or calcium, those kind of things. Finding a lot of people are actually taking way too much vitamin D because of this COVID thing. Too much of a good thing isn't good either.
Right.
So
Actually,
they're
for a lot of
overtaking
people,
it. They're
yeah.
overtaking the zinc, they're overtaking the vitamin D. And what most people don't realize with vitamin D is it actually works like a second string hormone in the body. So it can actually contribute to fatigue if you're taking too much of it.
Oh wow.
You just said hormone, so at a
Hormone
certain
imbalance.
point, certain
Hormone
point,
imbalance.
do you deal with that
I
at
do
all?
endocrine
Yes.
disruption. I'm actually finishing a book on that one.
Good. Do you know the name of the book?
I'm still haven't titled it yet. I'm working on the
Okay.
title. I'm like,
Oh,
it's
she's
gotta-
writing the book.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
mention-
finished the book.
Uh-huh.
I just need to
Title.
title it and
Oh.
everything. So yeah. Once
Have
I
you
get the
written
title.
any other books?
I've got a second nutritional book coming up. Yeah.
I was just gonna
Wow.
mention, when I hear that, I just gonna throw this in there, but Suzanne Summers, I seem to pick up bits and pieces from her. I think she's a pretty smart lady.
Yeah, she is, and her book is actually really good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was kind of thinking about in my mind when you get to that point. And then she had just like natural replacement. I never did any of that. I just kind of got through that.
Bioidentical hormones.
Yes.
Yep.
So do you see patients that come in for that?
I actually send them for bioidentical
okay.
hormone
There you
testing.
go.
Yep. I actually use custom dosing.
I've heard of them. They're on North Cayman Avenue.
Yeah, he's got an office in Valpo. He's got another one in Crown Point. Jeff Barton, so I refer my patients there for testing, and then he's a compounding pharmacy, so he can put together exactly what they need wherever they're off with their hormones. So it's not a blanket approach, it's what dosage they need.
Customized.
You bet.
That's why the words custom dosing is in the name of the business.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
For you.
I never prescribe or recommend anybody take a multivitamin, and I'm probably gonna get hate mail about that, but I'm about giving the body what it needs,
Right.
not doing a just in case approach. So you're not gonna be depleted in everything that's in that multivitamin, so that's gonna cause overages there, which causes things to be imbalanced elsewhere. So that's why I do some of the testing that I do, because then we can kind of kick it in a precise manner and give them what they need instead of guessing.
How do they get a hold of you? Phone number? Do you have anything online?
I have a website. It's Jodi, Jodi Barnett, 758.com is my website, and my office phone is 219-713-4789. So they can call there for, to get an appointment. They can
And
schedule an appointment through my website.
She has a Facebook page.
I do.
Did you make it for her?
No.
You're saying it so delightfully.
I have Harvested Health, and I actually post more on my personal page than Harvested Health.
I noticed that.
So should
God
people
love
friend you then? Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they friend you, then they can. That's what I tell people.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah,
friend me.
just
and
friend
follow
me.
all my good stuff.
Exactly, but I post more on my personal page because it seems like the algorithms on Facebook, when it's a business page, they restrict it because they want you to pay to boost your posts.
Yes.
So,
I do more on my personal
familiar
page.
with. I'm all
You
familiar.
got it.
Do you know
Yeah,
what
love
my
those
nickname is for
algorithms.
her? She's the algorithm buster.
5 more minutes.
Tell us your phone number again and where you're located.
I'm located in Valparaiso at 851 Eastport Center Drive, inside the Northwest Indiana Eye and Laser Center.
And what I remember you saying, it's by the Ivy Tech building.
Yes.
In that complex. That's a good landmark for you. Okay.
And the other one, I'm next door to Clark Family Chiropractic in LaPorte at 6646 West Johnson Road. And they're a great chiropractic family over there. They do.
Are you inside that building?
No, we're next door to one another.
Okay.
I'm in their original office. They built a bigger office next door, so I'm in their original office. But Dr. Sandy does the dry needling. They've got the massage therapy, reflexology. She focuses in pediatric chiropractic, so she works with children with special needs and stuff too. So
I was gonna say, I went to a chiropractor when I was pregnant because my curvature changed and I had sciatica, and for like a couple of days at least I had relief each week. So I thought that was, like you said, we're gonna try everything, because some things work for you, some things don't.
believe in chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, all of that, massage,
right.
it all plays a part.
Rest is important too, though.
You
That's
do.
my daughter. We did everything, and all she had to do was rest, and she could hit without hurting her back anymore. I'm like, rest. We were stretching her, we were acupuncturing her, we were massaging her.
There were several modalities that were mentioned on your Facebook website, and one of them was acupuncture. And what were the others?
Chiropractic, massage, infrared sauna therapy sessions. We offer those as well. Yoga. They have yoga classes and stuff there. I mean, there's just a lot that you need to spoil yourself. It's called self-love, and we're taught, I think, that that's selfish, and it's not. It's called healthy love. You only get one vehicle. You don't get to drive this body into a used body lot and say, okay, I just got too many miles. Can I have another one?
So what's your phone number? Because I'm going to give a shout out to why we're here out here. But what's your phone number?
219-713-4789.
And that's one of the things. But Facebook,
Facebook, yep, I am on Facebook. They can email me at harvestedhealth@gmail.
Okay.
They can contact me through my website at jodibarnett758.com.
So I'm going to open up the door here. So we've got a few minutes left. But I don't know if you can hear that. But the reason we're here, Paul Schreiner, he owns. What does he own? Or he leads, or he just multi-talented man. So my show is part of Conversations with Paul Schreiner, but the whole station is a Paul Schreiner idea, and he does so much for our community. Just raising money and feeding and clothing, and just a really
He has
good
Project
hearted
Neighbors that
man
that
over the
build
world.
has shelters for the homeless.
So that's who you hear out there talking.
If you hear, sounds in the background.
He plays music. He's selling a CD for a fundraiser. So I want to mention that too. That's outside here, so you can always just look him up and you can order online. Any closing thoughts? Miss Sue Irish Baxter?
We want you to follow us on Facebook. We post a lot of the major stuff on Facebook, and you have to come. A lot of you don't realize this, but have you ever had like someone that you like, and you don't see them anymore? You're like, what happened to that person? You were mentioning that too. What you have to do is you have to go to that page or that person, and you have to make some type of contact with them. You have to either like their comment or write a comment, or actually messaging them works. So Facebook will only allow you to see the last 50 people you have talked to.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people don't know that. And so if you have a lost aunt that you haven't heard them from a while, go to her page and like something, and then she will pop up in your news feed, and that's what we want you to do with Panorama, is we want you to follow us. And I think if you follow a business, you'll see it more often.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we focus on we know what the big things are that people want to know about, and we're a no nonsense, substance only, content is king.
Well, I like it because it's fun. I mean, there's just a lot of good information in there.
Well, any event going on in the counties and stuff, I mean, you've got it all covered. I mean, you've always had good coverage with what's going on in Lake County,
Right.
Porter County. I mean, it's just LaPorte County.
LaPorte County, yes, all
It's
three counties.
just, you know, if you want to know something to do for your weekend, and what's
Exactly.
coming up. I
And
mean,
it's time to get out. People have been stuck in their homes now for 2 years.
Too
Get
long.
out of the house,
Yes.
have some fun, enjoy yourself.
So we're gonna. This is coming up.
Come to the speed dating.
Yes,
and
and it's networking and it's learning and it's fun.
it's
So
meeting
come on out,
people.
and we'll give that night. We'll get somebody to answer that trivia question, and we'll give them that $25 gift certificate. But we're gonna do
Oh, well,
Monday
I also
too.
have door prizes too for that.
Oh, very good. I'll see you guys all on Monday. 'Cause
And
we got combos.
we have party favors for that too, so.
Who's on Monday with us? Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know.
right?
So Monday is, he just called me today to confirm everything. Marty Lucas, he's running for Congress. And then Todd Connor, which I've got to send another message because we're trying to reschedule and he wanted to tape, but I thought he should just come in live too. So so we got to get those guys. But I think with that, it's about 8 o'clock and get everything ready to go for the weekend. And
You'll see, we're going to start posting every one of our shows and the speaker as an event on Panorama, and so it's easy for you to find the speakers and find what's coming up. We're going to post Becky's show on there, and all of these shows have follow-up. They're going to be added on YouTube. There's a video on Facebook that you can come back and watch again. We're doing a blog post on all of our speakers. So we have the show and beyond. We have after the show content that we focus on. And the first Panorama magazine, unfortunately, is not coming out until May.
And you know what I need? You should bring a couple of those so we can kind of show those. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll bring the May issue. Our calendar of events is 7 pages. We have 450 events listed in each magazine.
And then you told me the distribution
Believe
is
that.
what, 5,000?
I
You
believe it.
distribute to like 5,000 of those throughout the Northwest Indiana?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. And I always, and I'm gonna end on this for me. In a virtual world, I'm still a real girl because I love my paper. I love sitting. I love
People
smelling it. I love
want the
hugging
print.
it.
They want the printed issues. So,
Alrighty.
well, everyone have a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend. There's things to do. There's family fun. There's bar crawls, craft beer,
And go Chesterton Georgians.
concerts, wine. Enjoy yourself.
Yes.